Okay, all right, guys. So today we'll be looking at limit.
Drive
So you need to
Potential Science
understand the principle
tutorials.
of limit before we now start calculus on its own. Now, for limits, we have limits. We can apply it to algebraic expressions. You understand? So when we say limits, we are just trying to talk about unknown as they tend to a particular value, starting from 0, 1, 2, and so on and so forth. In fact, the value can even be infinity. But we start from the simplest to the more advanced. So for example, if you are asked to look for the limit, of x tends to 1, x minus 1 s squared minus 1. So the first thing you need to do is to look at it. You can just apply this one directly to this function. But if you notice, if we do that, we're going to have something like, anywhere you see x, you put 1. 1 minus 1 over 1 squared minus 1. That will give us 0 over 1 squared, 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So this is not acceptable. 0 divided by 0 is not acceptable. So what we now do is we are going to express this denominator as an algebraic expression. So this is going to become lim x tends to 1 of x minus 1 all over, this becomes x plus 1 x minus 1. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Good. So x minus 1 cancel x minus 1. We are left with lim x or lim 1 over x plus 1 as s tends to 1. So by this, anywhere you see x, you put 1. So that becomes 1 over 1 plus 1. And finally, we have 1 divided by 2. So the answer is half. That means lim s tends to 1 of this is half. That's the first example. Second example, we look at lim as s tends to 2 of s squared minus 4 over x minus 2. So the same thing applies to this. If you put 2 straightforward, 2 square, 4 minus 4 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Of course, so that means we can apply that formal method too. So we need to also express this as an algebraic expression. So we're going to have lim as x tends to 2 of x plus 2, x minus 2 over x minus 2. X minus 2 cancels x minus 2. We are left with lim x tends to 2 of x plus 2. Then finally, anywhere you see x, you put 2. Final answer 2 plus 2. And we have 4. So this gives us